Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel and the Impact, I guess you'd say, Wrestle House 2 version for the 25th of November 2021. Not a fan of this, but it is what it is. This is kind of a, I guess, self-contained episode. Hopefully, it doesn't mean a lot for the future. Anyway, Chris Bay with Hikuleo defeating Falaba on the BTI show. James Mitchell is tonight's narrator. He recaps Wrestle House 1, which ended with the engagement of Rosemary and Johnny Bravo, feels like forever ago, which led to the attempted murder of Bravo at the hands of Lawrence D. That leads to the rise and fall of Swingers Palace. At least they have tied all of that together. In this version of Wrestle House 2, Black Taurus, Crazy Steve, Havoc, and Rosemary from Decay, Johnny Swinger, Hernandez, Alicia Edwards, and the Swinger Girls from the Palace, Madison Reigns, Caleb, Chris Sabin, and Johnny Bravo. Sabin is the sexy hunk of the house, apparently. Anyway, Decay keeps them all hostage until they made Swinger be happy and thankful, since Decay will gain Bravo's virgin blood as a result. Interesting, anyway. Show is structured like a countdown to the Thanksgiving Day festivities. On the second day, Caleb tries to recruit Riley from Swingers Girls as a reality TV star, but then notes that she's only had her eyes for Sabin. Caleb challenges him to a match. This happens in a venue. Sin Bodhi and Mitchell on commentary, along with Dr. Ross. Yet commentary audio is only on when the announce table was on screen, not during the match itself, which is just bizarre. Sabin wins a short match with a slow motion cradle shock after escaping Caleb's selfie submission attempt. On the third day, Rain complained that everyone's talking about their time hanging out, and Black Taurus reads one of the classics dressed in a suit while listening to classical music, and it was interesting. On the Rosemary and Havoc tell the crowd that everyone is booked for Turning Point, which gets where they get a chance to leave for the day and go wrestle. Edwards and Reigns joined together to come up with a plan to make Swinger happy so they could all leave. The plan is for a match at the IPWF. Ethan Page versus Downtown Daddy Brown, Willie Mack. The idea was to give Swinger a match against Brown so that, anyway, this is worked as an old school match. Bravo has a close chance of winning after the referee bump, but Brown recovers and gets a win. After the match, everyone is transported back to the house, where Alicia accidentally reveals to Swinger why they are all at the house. An angry Swinger tells them that now he's going to keep them all imprisoned in the house because he's never going to be happy on purpose. On the fourth day, after some arguing, the house divides itself into the ones who wanted to leave and the ones who wanted to help Swinger. Rain then asked for a 5-on-5 match, and if they win, they get sent back. Alicia then asked for the fifth person on her team be Eddie Edwards. Everyone sang Edwards' theme for an entrance song. Decay, Rosemary, Havoc, Black Taurus, and Crazy Steve, and Chris Sabin defeat the Influence, Madison Rain, and Caleb, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, and Hernandez. Yes, this actually happened. Anyway, Decay controls most of the match, and even Edwards couldn't handle Steve and Sabin double teams. They teased 10-person suplex, but instead it's breaking out by Decay, and they bite their opponents, followed by Rosemary hitting a spear on Alicia for the win. Sabin's enjoying being part of Decay a bit too much after this, and after the match, Caleb keeps hitting on Riley and told her she could be a full-time referee. Rosemary and one of the Swinger Girls decides to bring Lawrence D as her boyfriend to make Swinger jealous. Apparently, This is Dee's house. Swinger didn't care about Dee. Rain then brings Swinger to locker room talk, and she had to meet Swinger's hero, Gene Simmons. It's actually the demon, but Swinger wasn't smartened up to any of that. The demon then told Swinger about finding love and never letting go. Once he did, Swinger is now motivated and asked Swingerella 1 out. But Lawrence D was still there. He gets jealous, so Swinger challenged him to a match for the love of Swingerella 1. This is actually ridiculous. Anyhow, Johnny Swinger does defeat Lawrence D. Match between the two. They keep shooting against each other until Bravo stops that. Finding out D had sprayed cologne on Swinger. During the distraction, Swinger pulls a Mr. Fuji on Lawrence D with the salt in the eyes after the pin. Swinger proposed to Swingerella 1. Rosemary said no one is leaving until they went to the altar. And then the next day, Alicia Edwards is worried about Eddie. He's going to run and ruin the wedding. And then Swinger asks Hernandez to be the best man. Hernandez accepts, but later told Alicia that he was worried that there was something else going on. Later on, Hernandez finds out that Rosemary is trying to steal Bravo's soul, but then he tried to stop them. Rosemary transported him into the match with Black Taurus. Decay surrounded Hernandez, coming out like they were some form of heels. Then this goes to Black Taurus with Decay defeating Hernandez. Taurus jumps Hernandez with some minor offense, but Hernandez is back with a low blow. Hernandez then goes for the border toss, but Taurus dodges. Decay distracts Hernandez and then allows Taurus to take the leg out and roll him up for the win. After the match, Rosemary erased Hernandez's money, and Eddie Edwards also heard Decay and Bravo talking about their plan, and then after a while tells everyone Rosemary cussed so much so she must be drunk. Eddie Edwards also heard Decay and Bravo talking about their plan, and then on the way to the wedding, Caleb leaves Riley alone after Rain bullies him, so Sabin walks up and said they could go together. It's time for the wedding. Mitchell is officiating. Swinger's the first to give his vows and then talks about all women he'd been with in the past. Edwards runs in and tries to reveal the truth that he's too drunk to talk. Hernandez then recovers his memory and the truth was out. Rosemary is trying to kill Bravo, and it all became a weird joke about some form of Britney Spears thing. Bravo reveals that he isn't a virgin anymore. Rosemary couldn't get his blood. Swinger Girl 1 reveals that she and Bravo had been sleeping together, but Swinger was okay with that, as rule 2 of professional wrestling is never to fall in love with a Rizat. And then Bravo proposed to Brunhilde, Swinger's bride number 1's real name instead. The Sinister Minister makes it official. Afterward, they all had Thanksgiving dinner, and everyone is thankful, and Santa Claus shows up. Yeah. Not exactly a good show, but they figure no one's going to watch anyway, and that's how they killed a Thanksgiving requirement. We'll be back with more right after this.